You are now listening to the Behind the Mic Show from the Cheap Seats Sports Bar and Grill in Champaign, Illinois, presented by Ford of Tuscola. Now here's your host of the Behind the Mic Show, Keith Gibson.
Welcome everybody to the Behind the Mic Show. I am your host, Keith Gibson. Welcome to episode Baker's Dozen. And for you that don't know what that is, that's 13. That's an extra donut. It's an extra donut. Joining me today, as always, my co-host and good friend and the man who, now I'm not even going to say it this week without a convertible top. Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Erwin back with me again this week. And Sammy, last episode we had Coach Martin on. A lot of listens, a lot of downloads.
Yes.
The Hall of Famer brought us some good vibes.
Imagine that, right?
Yeah.
And those of you that were lucky to listen to it, I don't know if you got a ton of feedback from people about that podcast, but man, how cool was that? He's so good. Obviously, he's been interviewed a lot in his life, but he's always been a great speaker. And then, any idea off the top of your head how many downloads we got off of that one?
It's just shy of 200.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
People are saying they like us.
Well, you know what? We're building momentum. Seems like we're getting a few more followers every week, a few more listens. So yeah, we just try to keep pumping out a decent show.
Yeah.
So
well, you like to have fun, and
that's all we can do. Yeah, we're gonna have a little fun at the end of this one too. We're gonna see.
We are
you, the lyrical miracle,
the sexual intellectual, the man,
the king, the sex appeal. That's right. Will you know? Can you pick out a song lyric and name the band? Just got some song lyrics I want to throw out. So we'll see. King of karaoke. You should know these.
KK, DJ KK Mole.
That's right.
How you been though? Things good for you?
Good. Yeah. Work's been good. Like I think I said last podcast, June was a crazy month, but we got through it. July's been good. So doing some good things. It's going well. Now, heck, we're about done with July here. Before you know it, July went by really quickly.
Big weekend this weekend for us, though.
Big weekend. Yeah, tell us about this weekend.
Well, sometimes when I get an idea in my head, I can make things happen.
You can. Sometimes it's tragedy. Sometimes it's terrible. Yeah, but sometimes, boy, every now and then.
Sometimes it's regrettable.
You about 300 getting Hall of Fame, so 3 out of 10 times. Yeah.
Right. But hey, this weekend we've got our Behind the Mic Show, first annual, the inaugural Drink and Dive Tour this Saturday. And Sammy, you're coming up all the way from Paducah, Kentucky.
That's right.
To join us, but we're going to take a school bus and hit dive bars around Champaign. We're going to have little drinks and dives during the daylight.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Is that sold out, Keith Gibson?
Sold out, and sold out rather quickly.
Absolutely.
Hey, who doesn't like an afternoon of daylight drinks and dives?
That's a no-brainer. And the driving's taken care of, so it's safe. You get to go around and have fun. You don't have to worry about getting a DUI or injuring someone or yourself. So
hey, you know what the best part? You know what the best part is? Because we got some great sponsors, which we'll mention here after a bit. I like to throw them in, like Kester Homes and the Hideaway Slots and Beast Trees, who's always a good sponsor of ours here on the show.
We know that, yeah.
But because of them, we're going to donate $600 to the Champaign County Shop with the Cop program.
Even better.
But once again,
and what does the Shop with the Cop program do?
Oh, they take underprivileged kids out and go Christmas shopping. What's better than that than giving a kid a Christmas?
Win-win. And it's nice to put some police officers in a good light. Around the country anymore, we get a lot of that. It seems like the good ones don't get the press that they need.
Imagine
but boy, when something bad happens, wow, that's national news. So it's nice to do that, and obviously also to help some kids that maybe have a better Christmas than they might not normally have. So yeah, win-win all the way around. We get to have some fun. Money goes to a good cause. So yeah, outstanding by you to think of that. So
thank you. I appreciate you driving all the way up to join us.
Of course, wouldn't miss it.
There possibly could be some audio recorded. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe some video recorded for future shows. You never know what will happen.
I think we need to do the podcast as we're riding along on the bus.
We might.
Why not?
We might. We might even get JJ Lockwood on here to give us bust a few Tupac rhymes. Who knows?
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, that sells itself.
Right.
You get that man on there. Yeah.
Right. So, he's got a huge following. But no, we're excited. We're excited for the weekend. We're excited to get that going. And if things turn out as well as they do, who knows? We might do another one probably next spring. Maybe when it's not. I don't admit. Maybe end of July was not my smartest idea to have it.
Bus got air conditioning.
55 mile an hour.
Oh, there is no real air conditioning.
No.
Well, then that just means you drink a few more cold ones. Then,
Right, but it's only supposed to be 84 Saturday up here, pleasant, sunny.
Oh, you got lucky then. Yeah, okay.
Got lucky.
Yeah, but yeah,
Lucky.
thinking down at, if it doesn't have air conditioning, maybe do it in the fall or spring, But
Right,
hey,
but
it worked out. It'll be fine.
you never know what
It'll be
else
fine.
we'll come up with to donate. We're all about giving back to kids, especially here at Behind the Mic Show and you and I. So
Never know. We might do another wrestling match. I mean,
I would like to see the people who would actually pay to see us do that again. If there would be enough interest and we could raise enough money, I would do it one night only again. One night only.
Yeah,
One night
would
only.
be. We talk about it all the time. We had a blast both times, so it's
And people love the videos. You never know what we could come up with.
That's right.
Plus, you're an a-hole, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly. Natural heel. Natural heel.
Hey, speaking of being the end of July, 1st of August, Sammy, we're going to get right into topics here and start talking about some sports, if that's okay with you.
Of course.
I figured so. Mm-hmm. Hey, getting into the end of July, 1st of August, right on the horizon, 30 days from today, I believe you said before we went on air, is the first college football game of the season. 2019, your Florida Gators and Miami Hurricanes.
Yep, in Orlando.
Yeah, August 24th. It is crazy to think that college football season is here already.
30 days away. And now we've got a week 0, they called it. For some reason, they moved that game ahead, which I'm cool with it. It's great for both programs because they're the only show in town.
Right.
So those ratings are going to be pretty high, I would think. Two good programs. But, yeah, very excited for football to be coming around. Also, it helps when your team is actually supposed to be good. It's been a pretty rough decade since Mr. Tim Tebow's been gone. So I think we're building in the right way. We've actually got a decent coach now, a really good coach, actually, in Dan Mullen. We got some really good returning starters coming back, which most of these listeners wouldn't know who they were, so I'm not going to name them because, I'm probably the only Florida Gator fan on here. But that's okay because all that matters is
Now, hold on. I'm sure Drew's a Gator fan.
Well, that's true. That's true. So Drew knows all about it. So, yeah, Felipe Franks, Michael P. Wright. I mean, you name it. So I'll throw a couple names out. But, no, it's going to be exciting. I'm really looking forward to it. And, and then after that, it's rock and roll. And then the next weekend, I mean, we've got some big games that follow that as well. Not a ton like they were last year. It seemed like last year they had some mega games to start off the year.
They did. They did. And that's one of the things I want to talk to you about is, teams are still scheduling some cupcake games early on.
Yeah.
But you're seeing the dominant teams who really want to make a statement not schedule those cupcake games early on the season because those really hurt kind of later in the year if you're vying for a bowl game or a national championship. Right. Your RPI rating, you've got to play competition up and down your schedule anymore.
And the key is, too, let's say if you're I don't know. I mean, it doesn't matter. But let's say you play Alabama in the first week. Okay, big-time game, right? If you're a top program, if you play Alabama, and let's say you at least make it a good game. If you win, great, but even if you lose by 7 points, 14 points, keep it somewhat close. That's respectable. That's not going to hurt you. But it also has that strength of schedule, which is important, like you said, down the road. So, yeah, that's why people schedule. Also, is there money involved in those big games? And people love going – basically, you're having bowl games at the start of the season, at the end of the season, and then you got your conference like the SEC has a huge conference, so those are big games all throughout the year. So, it's better for the fans too because you got big games all the time. Because I hated that cupcake stuff. It was cheaper to go to the games, that's for sure. When you're playing North Dakota State or something like that, whenever Florida do that, tickets weren't too bad. Now, cheapest ticket I've found for their home games this year is about $200. I'm like, ouch! I can watch that from my couch.
I give it for Illinois for $20.
Oh well, yeah. Imagine that. But maybe they'll be better. Well, you can only hope. I see. Were they picked last? Illinois?
They were. We'll get to that in just a second. Okay. Miami, has got some talent who got into the. I want to talk a little bit about transfer portal here. Some guys who Miami has. The tight end, Jeff Thomas, the wide receiver tight end, who was going to come to Illinois.
Right.
And then reneged and then went back to Miami, which is a big thing for Miami.
Right.
Now, this transfer portal has had some big-time prospects, big-time athletes move to different programs. Thomas is one that kind of, went to Illinois and then reneged. Illinois had 3 players renege on them from the transfer portal. My thought is, and this is my take on the transfer portal, and you had Luke Ford, who was denied to play.
Yeah. Right.
But do you think it's right that they get in the transfer portal, commit somewhere, and then say, no, I don't want to do that now, and go back to the school they were?
Absolutely not. No, if you get in the transfer portal, okay, you leave your school that you committed to, and things happen. I get it. And hopefully, it's not just because you're not getting playing time, but we know that happens a lot. Or maybe when you get there, like Drew talked about in one of our earlier podcasts, he gave us a good insight on that. But if you make the decision to go in the transfer portal and you transfer to another school, that's it. You shouldn't get there and then say, I don't like this either. Well, what did you went on the visits, you talked to the coaches, you went all through that, but now it's like, never mind, I'm not going now, I'm going here. That's ridiculous. That should not be allowed in any way, shape, or form.
And I agree with you 100% on that. Once you go in the transfer portal, I think you're done with that school.
Exactly.
You can't go back. You can't
go back. Nope.
You can't
be able to go anywhere else for another year.
Right.
Like if you transfer to a school, that's it. You made that choice. Now you have to wait a year. You can transfer again after that if you want. That's fine. But it shouldn't be, and like you said, there's no way you should be able to go back. You left for a reason. Now you're going back. Why is that allowed?
Why go back? But there was some players who did move in the offseason through the transfer portal. And one of the biggest ones was former Alabama quarterback, now Oklahoma Sooner quarterback, Jalen Hurts, which, if you look at it, Baker Mayfield was a transfer.
Yeah. Right.
Why am I just drawing a blank all of a sudden, Sam? Who was the number one pick in the draft?
Oh, man. Whoa, don't we sound like professionals right now?
Wow.
Yeah, I just won the Heisman, too. Yeah. Terrible.
Yeah.
People know who we're talking about, but I can't.
He was a transfer. Now you have a transfer from Alabama and Jalen Hurts, who I actually thought was a better quarterback at Alabama, now going to Oklahoma in that offense, which I think he'll shine too. There's other players who have transferred that could make an impact this year, but you're going to see college football is changing a lot.
Yes, it is.
And I think it's for the better. I do. I just think the NCAA needs to get this transfer portal and just make a statement. Okay, here's what you can do. You can either do it or not. You're either eligible or not. If you transfer, you're either eligible or you're not.
Right. By the way, the quarterback that we couldn't think of was Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray. See, I got the first name, right? Kyler. I was thinking Kyler Williams from. I don't know why. Well, that was a.
Yeah. But we're going to see before you, and I get what you're saying, but at Oklahoma, I'm not really sure. Now, granted, coaches will sometimes mold their offense, and design it around their quarterback. And Jalen Hurts, he's been great his whole career, but he's not the greatest passer ever.
But does he have to be?
Well, here, it's very high octane. He's coming from Alabama where the offense is not exactly high octane. Yeah, they still score, but it's run. Jalen Hurts is a phenomenal runner, But when it comes to the passing game, and that's what Oklahoma's been, is throw the ball everywhere and, light up the scoreboard. I hope he can do that. He played exceptionally well when he came in relief of, Tua, whenever he came in and had to help him out when he got injured. So he really stepped up there, and I wish the kid nothing but success. I hope he's a good fit for Oklahoma. And it ends up leading to an NFL career for him. I do hope that, but we'll see.
I'm very excited. I know you are too about college football. I love, for years I working in the auto industry. I didn't get Saturdays. I didn't get to watch a lot of college football.
Right.
Now I do. And I love it. I love it. Notre Dame should be strong again this year. I don't know about great, but strong again.
Until they get to a bowl game.
Well, whatever. But they should be strong.
Right.
But, I actually think Illinois did get picked last in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Speaking of Big Ten, I think you're right. I don't think they're going to be dead last. I think they had some good transfers, like you said, come in.
Right.
They actually had some good people come in, so that helps. And I am interested to see what Ohio State's like post-Urban.
I do. Yes.
Now the guy's in charge. He's a good coach, seems like, but still, it's different now that it's your whole game. Yeah, it's one thing to fill in when Urban got suspended, but now it's like now you're running the whole show, and so we'll see.
And I'm to see what Harbaugh. I think the Big Ten's a big question mark as a power conference this year. I really do.
Agree.
I'm anxious to see what Harbaugh does in Michigan. Can he finally get them to a title game?
How many years do you give this guy before he finally gets it right? I know he's an alum.
But has he got it wrong?
He hasn't beat Ohio State yet.
Well, right, but has he got it wrong though? Is the talent there?
That's on him too. He's the recruiter, right?
Right.
Been there a long time. So,
at
some point, the blame's got to go on the coach, doesn't it? At some point.
Well, yes and no. But here's why I say that. And here's why I say no, Sammy.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the Big Ten in the Midwest. Tell me one big-time program in the Midwest right now not named Ohio State, and Ohio State was able to recruit because of Erwin.
Right.
Other than that, tell me another big-time school in the Midwest.
Well, you mean besides like Notre Dame, and are you talking just Big Ten?
Big Ten.
Oh, Big Ten. I would say Michigan has to be up there. I mean, that's a world famous name
tell
for
me,
years
tell
of
me,
history.
tell me a school outside of the Big Ten besides Notre Dame.
Yeah,
that's able to recruit players in the Midwest.
That's in the and I'll agree with you. It is it's not extremely difficult, but it's much harder to pull those kids because you need them from down south, whether it's Florida, Texas, Georgia. That's where the talent is. It's hard to get those kids to come north because it's cold up there. They don't like that, and plus, it's something like Nebraska. Somehow for years in the 80s and 90s, Tom Osborne was able to recruit there, and all there's is cornfields around there, and he was a dominant program. It's tougher these days because the kids want – it isn't just about football and education.
Nope.
It's about the entertainment aspect. What can I do outside of here? What can this school give me? Where you see like LSU, you saw – where they put in like $28 million in their locker rooms. Kids can have like these sleeping beds now that there's a cover that goes over it. Florida is putting in $85 million into their facilities, new locker rooms. It's all about entertainment. But yes, like for instance, University of Illinois, phenomenal education. That's what you got to sell the kids on. But other than that,
hold on. They're
Yeah.
putting a brand new facility in here too. That's
okay.
$22 million, $25 million.
Right. You got to spend that money. It's a competition now. I mean, you got to spend that money.
But still, you
and that
can't
helps.
recruit. Who wants to come, especially at Illinois? And this is my big thing that drives me crazy about Illinois fans.
Right.
You play in a conference with Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, Wisconsin, Nebraska.
Right. Why
does anyone want to come to Illinois?
Right. Now, here's a question you need to ask yourself, though. You ask about, it's tougher and all, and I get what you're saying to recruit to the Midwest, but those teams you mentioned, Ohio State, Wisconsin, Michigan, constantly in bowl games, constantly dominating the conference.
But
why is Illinois
are they in national or championship games?
Notre Dame has been, of course, that's a Midwestern. Now, granted, that's not Big Ten. I understand it. Ohio State has been. Now, granted, that's an Urban Meyer effect because he's one heck of a recruiter. So, I mean, that's what it comes to. Now, granted, Ohio State, Michigan, they have a long history of success, right? Years and years. I mean, it goes back forever. They've always been relevant. Illinois has had just kind of ebbs and flows of relevancy, and it's a lot.
There haven't been many flows.
Not many. Yeah, very few ebbs, lots of flows. Or vice versa, whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's you look like Wisconsin. That's even worse, but somehow they're getting their kids in. So I think it's a matter of the system, get the kids that you need to make, and you got to show improvements. That's Illinois' problem. As you and I, we went to games, we've tried to watch them on TV. There's no improvement. You got to show.
The key word there, tried. It's hard to watch. Lori and I have been in the last few years. We'll stay till halftime.
Yes. And you know what would help Illinois, too, to just think about this is what is their home schedule like this year? Who they got coming in?
They do have Michigan at home.
Okay, that helps.
October 12th.
What else? What about out of conference? What do they have?
I haven't even looked, but it's nothing big.
Bingo. So, Illinois, if they could, the best they could, sign those 2- and 3-year contracts, whatever it may be, a home and home or something like that, and get these elite games. Get what I just think I'm talking about, get an Oregon to show up. Then you go out and play at Oregon. That draws people in because even if Illinois stinks, at least you're playing tough, which the recruits see that too. We're playing big time competition.
And they did that. They did that with Washington a few years ago. Did a home and home. But Washington played them at home.
Right.
You know where Illinois played the game at? Soldier Field.
Now, see, wrong. Yeah, wrong. I don't get that.
Now,
was there supposed to be like
they played Northwestern at Soldier Field. They played Northwestern at Wrigley. This year now it's home and home. That's done.
But I can kind of understand that too because if you're Illinois, because once again, we know Champagne's not the mecca of excitement. I understand that. So if
What are
you show
you
these
talking
recruits-
about?
Right. Yeah, I live there. Yeah, I live close to it. So, nothing wrong with Champagne, but it's not, once again, we're trying to draw kids in. But if you can tell these recruits, hey, look, we play at Soldier Field where the NFL plays, right? We play at Wrigley. We play at whatever. And that kind of – they're doing everything they can, I think, to appeal to these kids. They just got it. And once again, you got to show improvement. What kid who's an elite prospect wants to come there that it's going to be 4 years of misery? Why? Show me something. And here's the thing. And I know Lovie Smith's owed a lot of money, but how much longer do you give him?
You know what? Oh, here's my thing with Lovie.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually like Lovie. I like the culture here has changed since he's came in. And that's where you got, because when he came in, I mean, it was awful.
Right.
I mean, you look what came before him.
Right.
Was not good. Tim Beckman.
Right. Boo. Yeah.
Yeah,
and Lovey's a great man. He is. He's a great
guy.
man.
Nice guy. Yeah. He was there when I got engaged 5 years ago.
Right.
But he was awful coach.
Right.
But Lovey has changed the culture and is changing the culture. Mm-hmm. I honestly think you have to give him more time. I do. Because here's why. You're going to change that culture. Once you get the culture changed, then the other recruits start coming in.
5 years.
You start getting better.
Did you say he's been there 5 years?
He has been 3. This is year 4.
3. Oh, okay. Well, if it's just been 3, I could see giving him, another year or 2, but you got to show me something. And you got a good athletic director now. I know, he's brought in, I think, he's done a fine job with the basketball and helping bring in, it seems like the right coach there. That coach is a heck of a recruiter.
Yes, he is.
Man, that's the thing, man. Sometimes it really doesn't matter how great a coach you are. You put Nick Saban at Kent State right now. Does he win a national title? Probably not. But he's built that program up, and he recruits. You have to have the horses to win the race.
That's right.
And Illinois just doesn't have those right now. You don't have a shot. So
I'd love to see it, but I do think, and I will say this right now on this podcast, on the Baker's Dozen episode edition. Right. They do not finish last. I think they are improved. I'm going to call it now. They're a 5 to 6 win ball club this year.
That would be a massive improvement. If they could, here's the thing. If they could get 6 wins somehow, if you looked up and down that schedule, if you can maybe get 6 wins, that's a bowl game, man. That's big. That's something you can build on.
Right. They've got some good young kids coming in. Isaiah Williams is a good young quarterback. They got Parker from Michigan, who was in the transfer portal and came down.
Okay.
Who's a solid quarterback. I think they're there. They've got some kids from USC, wide receiver. So you're going to have a whole new look there. They've got a great running game, Reggie Corbin. It's the defense, which Lovey is known for. But they did lose Bobby Roundtree to the spinal injury when he jumped in the pool.
Right.
But I think if you rally around that, I could see some big improvements. Will they beat Michigan? Will they beat these elite teams? No. But I think if you can go 6-6.
And you know what would help too?
If fans
hear me out on this. This may be controversial, but hear me out. You and I have been to the tailgating at U of I, okay, which is awesome. Great time. But then you go to the game, and here's the deal. If you're a U of I fan, get your ass in the stadium and support your team, win or lose. That looks bad to recruits, too, of like, nobody even comes to these games. Why would I come here? The friggin' stands aren't even full, or the crowd will leave.
The students don't even come.
Right. Ridiculous.
It is.
Get off your butts and friggin' go support your team. That is huge to recruits.
Yeah,
huge.
I agree. No, that's you are. Can't argue with you. That's a first.
Yeah, how about that? Right.
When you look at a game or even watch it on TV and the stands are half full.
Yep.
It's sad.
It is absolutely.
It's a satisfied diet.
Right. And like TV doesn't want to have that on there either. They don't want to show a stadium that's half full.
Right.
So now you're not getting on TV as much. I mean, once again, if the fans show the support, if they're there behind the kids, win or lose, and don't just stay out in the parking lot and get drunk because that's the fun part. Then maybe your players, it is fun. I get that. But maybe if they all fill the stadium and cheer on their players, who says maybe they don't play better? You know, because they're pumped up because the stadium's loud. It's a home field advantage, because if I'm Michigan, I come out there and maybe we're up 21-0 after the first quarter. Sometimes that happens. And the stadium empties. Now I have a home game. There's no chance of Illinois coming back.
Right.
But if that place is rocking, when that starts, Michigan's like, ooh, okay. And it's harder to call plays. It's harder to run the offense.
Right.
But everybody loves a winner, so that's
why they love me.
That's it.
Anyway, college football coming up 30 days from today. Sammy, we could talk about this for hours. One thing I do want to mention about
who wins the national championship this year?
You know what? I think it's a crapshoot.
Okay.
It won't be Florida, and it won't be Notre Dame. Boy, it's hard to bet against Alabama. It really is.
Hard to bet against Clemson too.
It is.
Clemson has no competition in their conference, so they will go undefeated and be in that national championship game. I think Alabama in the West in the SEC, no issues there whatsoever.
No.
I think in the SEC East, it's going to come down to Florida and Georgia and that Florida-Georgia game. Largest
cocktail party of the year.
Yeah, it's one of these days I got to get down there for that because I heard it's a show.
I don't even care about either team, and I want to go.
Woo! 100,000 people tailgating. Crazy.
I'm okay with
crazy around Halloween. Woo! But anyway, so somebody out of the East, but there may not be two SEC teams because obviously they beat up on each other, and then that SEC
probably
championship
USC
game.
or Oregon out of the West Coast.
Yeah, I could see Notre Dame once again getting into the Final Four. So should be interesting. But my pick to win the national championship, to be the man, you got to beat the man. So I'm going to pick Clemson again. I hate to see it do it, but that quarterback is phenomenal. Great coach. They're always prepared. So I could see Clemson winning again.
I'm going to go with Appalachian State.
Good pick. Look at you going against the grain. Awesome. You going to put 100 on that?
No. If I had to put good money on something, I would probably stick with Alabama.
Okay.
I think Clemson's a great choice, but Alabama's hard to beat. I mean, they're going to be there every.
And in a Big Ten team, you can't forget it's either going to be Ohio State or Michigan. If they.
I don't think either.
Ooh, really?
No, I'm gonna call.
Because who does Ohio State lose to if they beat Michigan as well?
I think you're going to see. I think Penn State could make a run this year, and I think Wisconsin makes a run.
Okay. All right.
So I don't think you see Michigan or Ohio State in the Rose Bowl.
Ooh, big pick there. Big pick. All right.
And maybe Purdue. Purdue maybe surprise some people too.
You never know.
You don't. I have no clue.
I could be 6'2" tomorrow morning too, but I don't see it happening.
Hey, but one thing I want to mention about college football before we move on is some more news. Is they're making progress, Sammy, on a video game.
Oh yeah. Oh, we're getting there. And did I see on Madden that you can already play college teams on Madden?
Yes.
The new Madden? Oh, I probably got to break down and get that bad boy then.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, man, we're getting close. And now I got to buy a friggin' PlayStation 4. So it's like, ugh. But
I know I'm going to have to break down.
Yeah, you got to do it. But now they're making a PlayStation 5, right?
Huh?
There's a PlayStation 5 that's coming our way within a year or so. Yeah.
Oh, that's all right. That means the 4 will drop in price.
Right. Bingos. That's what I lean on, yeah. Always thinking.
Oh, yeah. I've had my 3 for so long now that I don't have.
Oh, man. Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, so that's exciting. So moving on, though, Sammy, let's talk a little wrestling. A big Monday night show for our wrestling fans. And we are going to get together and do our Champs and Chumps podcast here coming up before SummerSlam, which is August 11th. We've got a couple setting that up. So make sure you tune in for that. But big night Monday night, the Raw Reunion.
Yes.
And you and I were texting back and forth during the entire show because that's what we do.
That's what we do, right?
Right. And there were some high points.
Yeah.
There was not very many of them, but there were some low points in my mind.
Right.
What did you like about Raw? What did you not like?
Well, here's the problem, and with anybody that's a wrestling fan and anybody that's been to a show, is your opening goal is to get the people hot and get them going. Get them up, get them fired up. You've seen them on pay-per-views. Man, when they start out hot, boy, that crowd is fired up, ready to go. And this was a huge show that was highly advertised. Stone Cold's coming back, Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan. I mean, you had the stars there. The crowd was looking forward to it. And then you come out and lay an egg with John Cena, who comes out, which should have been a good thing. And he did a little bit. He did a little bit of his, thugonomics with the Usos. And then he just disappears. He wasn't even involved in it. I'm like, okay. So then you got Rikishi there with his possibility of doing a stink face. All right. But it was here's the thing that we lose track of was that a good tag team match that happened?
Yeah.
Yes, it was. But we are looking at, is Rikishi going to get involved? Are we going to get to see the dance? Everybody wanted to see John Cena involved with that dance too at the end where they used to do with Rikishi.
Right.
We want to see a stink face. Never happened. So I think it's now here's the problem though, is if you do the stink face to that young tag team, Now you're not putting them over. So I think there was kind of, during this whole show, was they did their best not to try to push the old guys and try to kind of give the new guys the rub. Like, here you go,
Right.
pass the torch. I think there was more effort in that than normally that the WWE does, seems like. We've seen WrestleMania before. What, Rock beat Rowan in like 6 seconds, 9 seconds, something like that at WrestleMania, which was not good for him, of course. And, you know, we love The Rock, but you're only there once every 5 years, so it's like, is that really necessary? So you just kind of started off slow to me. But the things that I did like.
Hold on. I will. Hold on. I'm gonna stop you there for a second.
Uh-huh.
I agree with you 100% because we talked about that. And I'm the one that texted you. I said that's because I started a little late, about 5 minutes, because you know you have to take care of the little one every once in a while.
Right. Oh yeah.
You know, we had to go in the potty.
Right.
But anyway, so you said, have you watched it yet? And so I watched it, and I'm just like, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the bang? Where's the pizzazz? Where's you know, Cena comes out. Cena should have done something to give me more pizzazz.
Mm-hmm.
You know, honestly, Cena and Rikishi and Devon Dudley didn't even need to be there.
No, that's what I was saying. I'm like, what was the point of them being there? And I get you want to see John Cena. That's fine.
Right. But I did read later the reason that you didn't see Devon and Rikishi do anything is because they weren't medically cleared.
Ah, right.
So
and these guys are getting up there in age too. So it's like, and you know what? That's fine. I have no issue with that. But still, Rikishi can still do his dancing. The crowd and the TV home, we would have loved that because 20 years ago that was funny. We enjoyed it. He could still do that. So there's little things that could have been done, you know. And even Cena, it's like, okay, this guy carried the ball for a long time, right? Multi-time, almost has Flair's record, right? It's like maybe give him a little more mic time to kind of do his thing. It's like it's almost like he just showed up to do somebody a favor and like, all right, I'm going now. I got to go shoot a movie.
Right.
You know, it's just kind of like, I didn't see the
forced.
Point. But anyway, yeah.
Agreed?
But, what's that?
It felt forced.
Absolutely, yes. Not organic at all. Right. Yep. I agree. But one thing I loved was the 24/7 championship, as always. It's entertaining.
It is.
It gets people on TV. When Pat Patterson got the title, this man's got to be close to 90 now. It was so great. I'm like, that is fantastic.
84
and then you had a woman.
Years old.
84, right.
Old, and the oldest to ever hold a title in WWE history.
Outstanding. And then you had the first woman to hold the 24/7 title when Kelly got it as well. And boy, she really has taken care of herself. But yeah, good looking woman, that's for sure. But it changed hands several times, which is great. $1 Million Man, you know, ended up buying it from Medusa down the road, which was fantastic. She about dumped it in the trash can like she did back when I was in WCW, which was a nice nod to things. So there was a lot of thought put into these, which is, I can't believe we're saying about WWE, but they thought about things like we could do this, we could do that. Then, you know, and then of course R-Truth ends up, you know, getting it back later. But one of my favorite thing, now go ahead if you want to throw in on that.
I think, I do actually, because I loved it. I love it as well. I think it's the best thing that WWE has going right now, period. I think the best thing they have is that because they can do so much different things with it. And they are using their creative minds to do it. But what I don't like is the end game. There's got to be an end to it somewhere. Otherwise, it's going to get very stale. So hopefully at SummerSlam, there's actually a match or something where they get other guys involved besides Drake Maverick and R-Truth.
But, you know, I kind of like how
those two have carried – you want my honest opinion? I think those two have carried the show.
Oh, absolutely.
For a month now.
Yes. And Drake, I mean, yeah, he's a little wormy dude, but he's playing his role extremely well. I mean, it's funny. The stuff they do on social media, he's out in like Comic-Con, out in crowds handing out papers about his missing baby, his title, and then he puts, also lost my wife. You know, she's been kidnapped, you know, this latest deal, because obviously R-Truth drove off and the wife's gone too. So it's good comedy. But once again, it's a good way to get other people on the show that normally don't. And what was I going to say? You know, I kind of like how it always revolves back around to where R-Truth has it, you know, or where Drake has it. I like that going, like you said, eventually they're going to have to, maybe not. I don't know. I mean, they could keep this crazy stuff going because there's so many avenues you could do with it.
But there's so much talent on the roster. They also could spread that around a little bit. I understand where the storyline's going. I think it's great. But I think at some time you have to restart that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And you just got to do a chain reaction. So then you have another guy in who keeps it and goes. And then it's just, and you can do this forever.
Right.
Don't you keep it fresh, but it's got to stay fresh, because if these two keep doing it until the end of August, that's another whole month. It's going to get stale.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Eventually, I mean, if you keep doing the same things over and over, yeah, everybody's going to get tired of it. So they'll have to mix it up. And then that leads us to now this is obviously later on the show, because really, to me, the Raw Reunion, the first 2 hours were just kind of But that last hour,
I did like the Samoa Joe Reigns, the Samoan talking back and forth. I thought it was great match. I thought it was great.
Great match. Yes, absolutely. But then the last hour, things started to pick up quite a bit, because business picked up. Now DX came, and it kind of got the crowd piped. But man, I didn't get it all. I mean, yeah, it's always good to see DX, but here's the problem. A lot of them look really, really old. They're not going to do anything to anybody. Yeah, I get it. It gets a pop. But here's the thing. You have, AJ Styles and this club that you've reassembled, and you made them look like crap. Now, some people say, well, they were outnumbered, so it doesn't make them look that bad. No, I mean, I just didn't get it. It's like, what?
So, and I was reading it this afternoon, actually. Sean Waltman has his podcast, and he had him and Scott Hall and Nash on there. And they all three said that they went to management and said, we do not want to do this because this is burying these guys.
Right.
And they said, this is what we're doing. This is what we're sticking with. Nobody on there, DX, Road Dogg, all these guys did not want to do that for that reason. And I read that today, which I thought was very interesting. They wanted to push those guys, which they should have been.
Right. Absolutely. Yes.
They got buried. They made it cool.
Maybe that's why the facial expressions on DX were like, why are we here? You could tell they didn't even want to be there. That was the thing. It's like, there's no genuine joy for them to be there. And then above all else, some would call him the face of the company right now in a lot of aspects. Maybe
the runs the place.
The face that runs the place. He looked awful all night long. It's bad enough you put him with his girlfriend, who she said it's the man's man. It's like, oh my God.
Rollins,
okay.
Yeah,
Rollins. And then so then he loses his title. Okay. Now you put him with DX, and let's not forget he was with The Miz, and like his promo was awful, where he's making fun of the way Brock Lesnar talks. I'm like, what is this? And then you put him with DX, and they hand him the mic where he says, I got 2 words for you. And I'm like, you did nothing to help Rollins at all. Nothing.
Well, and I read this, that wasn't supposed to be him. Ricochet, I guess, has got a staph infection in his elbow.
I wonder where Ricochet's been. Okay.
Yeah, well, and that's why. And so that spot where Rollins was at was supposed to be Ricochet, and they were going to push Ricochet to the ceiling. But so you think about it, that if that's Ricochet and he didn't have to be out with this elbow staph infection or whatever he had in his elbow, that does boost him.
Yes.
As a young guy and
that guy needs champion. That. Rollins don't need that.
Right.
Yeah. So here's my thing, though. If you're WWE, okay, Ricochet can't do it. Why you put Rollins there? You got nobody else you can put in there? There's no story that's been going with him and AJ. It's like, what, why, what? And see, once again, AJ and Ricochet have been going back and forth. That would have made sense.
Right.
That would have made perfect sense. But the Rollins, I'm like, why did you put him in that position in the first place then?
So why not put some other younger guy in there?
Exactly. Give Rollins something else. That made no sense. So anyway, so there's that. And then where it really started to get fun is here comes Mick Foley, who I've loved for years. I mean, you talk about Hall of Famer, done it all, so great, and comes out and he's talking about the 24/7 title. Then here come the goons with the 24/7 title running through again. And he's like, it's going to be mine someday, which we know because Mick can barely move now. Looks like, bless his heart, he don't move well at all. But, obviously through the years of what he's done. But then he says, look at the Jumbotron, I want to share my favorite memory. And then here comes the dark shutting down and all that. And you knew it was coming, and it was still great because here comes the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. And, man, the crowd. Woo, the crowd. Boy, did they like that. I mean,
I tell you what.
Then he uses Mick Foley's move again, or the Mandible Claw for Mankind. That was awesome. So,
and I love that part of it.
Great passing of the torch. So is what that was.
So is he going to use the Mandible Claw moving forward, or is everybody he attacks, if you will?
Yeah.
Is he going to use their finisher on them?
That would be awesome as well. So that may be leading to that where I use your own move against you, which would be really cool too. So, and that's the thing. And you mentioned earlier that you think the greatest thing WWE's got going right now is the 24/7 title. I love it. But to me, the greatest thing they have going right now is Bray Wyatt. And from what I've read, he has entire creative control over this. And imagine that. It's like, wow, no way you're letting the guy be himself and be creative. And look at that. Everybody loves it. And it's organic. And it feels real. Yeah, you talk about creeped out. When that guy comes under that mask, I get it. Yeah, we know it's fake. But still, it's like, whoa. It's new. It's exciting. It's different,
My wife hates wrestling.
Right.
So she says.
Loves Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns coming on, and she knows who Roman Reigns is.
Yeah, I bet she'd like Aquaman too. Then,
but when Wyatt came on with that mask the other night,
yeah,
she even stopped what she was doing and was like, "What is this?" I'm like,
"Exactly."
She's like, "I do not want Kendall seeing that." And she's perfectly right on that because that mask is, it's creepy.
Yes, very creepy. And then he does that. Great pop from the crowd. People love it. And he's in and out, which is great. The mysteriousness of it. You never know who's going to show up. And then, even though we're talking about Raw right now, but that's okay. The next night on SmackDown, they bring out Finn Balor, who he had issues with before. And you and I have talked about this, that we hope this was the way they do it. And Balor's out to talk about, I don't know, he's really lost it. He's always been crazy. This is, cross the line. And then what do they put up on the screen to interrupt? Firefly
Funhouse.
Where it's nice, Bray talked to you. And I'm like, that is beautiful. The back and forth. And, it's just unreal, the way that's going. I hope they don't screw up, and I hope with Paul Heyman in charge now, they just let Bray be Bray because, man, that kid's a genius, and he's got it going on right now. And I think they're getting ready for a huge push with Bray Wyatt with what's going on right now because it is – it's just everybody's talking about it. You look on social media, that is the main thing people are talking about.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
so let's talk about the end of the show. I know you your pants got wet.
A tear in my eye. Yeah.
We had the Nature Boy. By the way,
yep.
When you come up this week, we may have to make a trip to Meyer.
Okay.
They have Ric Flair T-shirts for $9.99 out there.
Oh God, yeah, absolutely. Are you kidding? That's a no-brainer.
Yeah. So they have Ultimate Warrior, Ric Flair, and Hogan shirts for $9.99 out there.
Wow, that's a steal.
It is.
Jeez. Okay.
Limousine riding.
Yeah.
But anyway. So you had Flair out there. Great to see Flair. He looks his age.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Man's what? Almost 70-something. He's
Then you had Hogan come out at the end of Raw, and it not a big reception.
No, and that's the kind of the sad part. Obviously, the man's had some trouble in his personal life and the things he said. But that was the kind of the worst part for me was that was in his hometown.
Right.
Place should have lost its mind, and he got a decent reception, but not a Hulk Hogan reception at all, from what we're used to. So that was kind of like, maybe it's time. Maybe you just ride off in the sunset.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Stone Cold came out.
Boy, the glass shatters, and that place lost its mind.
And so did you.
Yes, I did. Absolutely.
Okay, so he came out and cut a promo about how important everybody is, how hard they work in the back, and how it's a family, which I love the promo.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't love the promo, and here's why. It almost felt like WWE was patting themselves on, congratulating themselves on how great they are, when the product has not been great.
Right.
It's great to see those guys out there, great to see the legends, everybody come back, because that's what everybody loves. When is it time for them to realize that a change needs to happen and happen soon before maybe an upstart promotion really starts kicking them in the tail and pushing them a little bit? Love seeing Stone Cold. Thought he was fun. Thought it was great. Thought it was genuine.
Right. Yes.
But it felt – he didn't feel rehearsed. Hogan and Flair felt rehearsed, but everything felt pushed. Does that make sense?
Right. And I'm sure they gave him a topic of like, some bullet points or something like that maybe. I don't know. With Stone Cold, what, you going to give him direction, think he's going to follow it? He's going to do whatever the hell he wants, But I get what you're saying, and I think you have seen the change in the last month or so. I really do. It's been a much better product. I think AEW obviously has something to do with that. I'm still anxious to see when AEW comes on if they can do it week to week like they've done with their pay-per-views. That's a whole different animal right there, and they'll find that out. But we'll see.
Which is October 2nd, by the way.
That's right, October 2nd. And now here's a question I have for you: is who got the loudest pop of the night without question?
Oh, Stone Cold.
Right. If you're the WWE, is that a great thing or is that a major problem?
That's a problem.
That's a major problem. The guy hasn't wrestled in, 15 years?
Probably close, yeah.
Something like that. Comes back every now and then, like the Monday night 25th anniversary.
But that's part of the reason he gets a big pop, though, is because he's not always coming back. He's not Triple H.
That's true.
He's not
but
Shawn Michaels.
Right.
He's not Flair, who's there all the time.
But here's the thing, though. If he came back every week, wouldn't he still get the same pop because it's Stone Cold?
Yes.
Right. So that's a problem. And here's another thing. Then let me ask you this. Stone Cold, maybe one of the, as we talked about in our Mount Rushmore, he's on both of ours, of course. For the WWE, is Stone Cold a blessing or a curse? I heard this on another podcast.
Curse.
Is he a blessing or a curse?
Curse.
And why is that?
I will say he's a curse because anytime he's around, everything's put on him. And you're going to think I'm crazy on this. Have you ever seen him put a younger guy over?
Not yet, and I'm waiting on that. I really am. I'm waiting on that. And, of course, physically, I don't know that he can do it, but that's okay. You can do it other ways, right? I was almost expecting, hear me out on this, how great would it have been if you got all the old stars in the ring and then Brock Lesnar's music hits and here comes him and Paul Heyman and maybe Stone Cold and Lesnar go nose, no physicality, but maybe nose to nose, kind of like Dolph Ziggler and Shawn Michaels did on Tuesday night. Look, now they got a little physical, obviously, but a little something as kind of I don't know, or they could have involved Kevin Owens with Shane McMahon.
I was really disappointed the way Raw ended. Yes, it was great. It was all the the legends were there, but why are you finishing your show? I know it's a Raw reunion. Why are you finishing your show not pushing not furthering storylines to SummerSlam or pushing younger talent? I'm just
right, and that was another.
Sure we'll get into that more. I know Shane's going to join us for the wrestling podcast. Mm-hmm. He's not just a big baseball analyst; he's also a huge wrestling fan.
Okay.
And then Narj is going to join us too, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah. I liked how it ended, but I think the whole show there was a lot of areas where they could have really hit some home runs, and there were some swings and misses.
What was
there
your
really
grade?
were.
What was your grade for Raw Reunion?
Grade overall, due to the first 2 hours that were, and there were some highs and lows, like you said. I'd say grade overall B.
Give it a solid C to C minus.
Ooh, boy, you are harsh tonight. But their ratings were way up compared to what they normally are.
They are,
quite a bit, and it happens consistent.
when you advertise Flair, Hogan, and Stone Cold, especially Stone Cold, your ratings are going to go up.
Right. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that's why they did it. But, like, for instance, the ending would have helped, too, is maybe Shane McMahon comes out to run his mouth to that group and say you're too, and then Kevin Owens' music hits, and then they think Stone Cold's going to do, stun Shane like he always does, but he lets Kevin Owens do it. Once again, like Mick Foley did for Bray, Stone Cold could have passed the torch for using the stunner and say, you got my blessing, and let him do it. And since they have a match coming up anyway, that could have built onto that and gave Kevin Owens a huge boost.
Right. But
they didn't do that. Right.
Tuesday Night SmackDown was decent. Further storylines.
Yeah.
And SummerSlam, as I said, coming up, we'll have our Champs and Chumps podcast coming up soon before it. So if you're a wrestling fan, make sure you tune in. Other big news that was announced this week, as we mentioned earlier, October 2nd, Wednesday, October 2nd, AEW will make its debut on TNT. Mm-hmm. Are you surprised it's a Wednesday?
Not at all. No. Because Raw's on Monday, SmackDown's on Friday, and then and here's the thing that Jim Ross said this when I listened to one of those podcasts he was on. They couldn't really do Tuesdays and Thursdays on TNT because those are basketball nights for TNT NBA basketball. So that was about your only option because they're not going to go on Monday nights because that's not going to work. They're not there yet. Now, I will say this. I think I said this before. Their initial ratings are going to be better than Raw because people are going to tune in to see the new product. I do believe that. So we'll see how long that lasts week to week. But I think they know. And here's the thing that you and I have talked about. Is it going to be better or not? Here's the thing, and I've kind of grown on this idea, is it doesn't have to be a competition.
Right.
Who cares? If it just makes it better for everyone, then who cares? Watch it all.
Everybody.
Right? Doesn't matter.
We can watch Monday night. We can watch Tuesday night. We can watch Wednesday night. We got NFL on Thursday night.
Yep.
We've got wrestling on Friday.
We are loaded. What a great time to be a wrestling. If you're a wrestling fan, this is kind of takes me back, even though the Monday Night Wars were fun, but that was more of a competition, and that was awesome back then. But we're kind of back to that point where wrestling is getting to be really good, but it's at different levels, and it's not necessarily a competition, you know? So that's kind of cool, too, that you can just spread and just enjoy it. Enjoy the moment because you have phenomenal athletes putting on a show, and you got it how many nights a week. So it's just great for the wrestling business. I think it's going to help the WWE. It's going to make them try harder, write better storylines, and then, we'll watch the AEW grow. So
Right?
What's that?
Like big girls. Try harder.
I suppose that's true. That should
Johnny.
help us. That should really help us in our demographic that we're seeing more women. That should really. So anyway,
so moving on. So we got a lot of things. Make sure you tune into our Champs and Chumps podcast. I'm sure there'll be things all over cheapseatsbar.com Facebook page, and we'll have a bunch of information on that when we get set for before SummerSlam, which is August the 11th. So moving on, we're going to talk about your favorite golfer and how he absolutely sucks and he's awful and he couldn't make it out of 2 rounds of the British and he might as well just hang it up because he's done.
Oh, wow.
I'm talking about Tiger Woods. Tiger looked awful at the British.
Yes, he did.
He is now 43 years old, and I'm going to tell you right now, he's playing on borrowed time.
Well, yeah, he's 43. Of course it's borrowed time. But let me ask you this. How did Rory McIlroy play?
Well, I'm talking about Tiger here.
No. Let's be realistic here. Okay, Tiger Woods.
Rory's year's been worse than people realize.
Yeah, and he's rated very highly. That was like his home course.
Yeah.
They said he shot better on that course when he was like 15
yeah.
than he played. So it happens. It's golf. It happens sometimes, as you know.
So played it. Yeah, right. But he's Tiger afterwards. He didn't make the cut.
Right.
And I'm love when Tiger's good. It's fun. Golf is fun. Right. Did you watch the final 2 rounds of the Open?
Nope. Didn't care.
Bingo.
Right. Yep.
So I didn't either. And there's to me, and it's not that I don't love watching golf. I do.
Right.
But it just doesn't have that allure to it.
Right. But you know what? Had we done the podcast leading up to it, and you had, your work schedule was crazy, so we weren't able to do it. But I watched his press conference leading up to the event, the British Open, and the look on his face when he was talking, he was not ready. Whether it's physically, mentally, you could tell by looking at his answers. And had we done a podcast before that, I would not have picked Tiger to win that because I could tell by the way he was talking. Yeah, I'm saying it right here. Mark it down. I would not have picked him to win it because when Tiger's feeling good is when the confidence is high and he is locked in. You can tell by looking at his face the way he talks. That was not the way that press conference went.
So he's played 12 competitive rounds since Augusta, since the Masters.
That's a problem too. Mm-hmm.
Since he's won, Right. And he stated he needs time to get away from effing what? You just took a 2-week vacation in Thailand.
Right.
Them in Thailand.
Right.
Now, we know Tiger's past. I'm sure he might have had some fun in Thailand.
Well, he's got a girlfriend now, so I'm not sure, what the issue is there. She might have, she might not, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
So here's a stat for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. I actually took some notes, and I'm not just shooting from the hip tonight. I know that's...
Ooh, what's a big deal? Oh.
Since he's won the Masters is the only tournament which he has finished closer than 8 shots to the eventual champion.
Right.
Closer than 8 shots, Sam. He hasn't even been close to winning another one this year. He has not played good golf. So is it A, is it time to walk away?
No.
Or is it B, is he just have to face the fact that he's not going to be competitive every tournament? And people have to realize that he's not going to be competitive every tournament.
Well, no, I mean that's ridiculous to think that.
But you are one that thinks he could win every tournament, correct?
If once, as I've always said here, as we've talked about this, if his health is right, if the body feels right, so that's the key. And something's not right. It seems like ever since the Masters, and then that affects his head. Of course, if he's not feeling well. And then he starts to doubt himself, and then here you see that god-awful score he put up on Thursday. It was terrible to watch, just awful. But let us not forget, there's only 4 major winners a year, and he's one of them this year. Okay, so I don't think we can say, you know what, maybe you should just hang it up. I'm sure there's a lot of people who really like to change places with him right now and have won one of those majors. but what everything centers around his health. And I do think, but maybe he just can't anymore. He needs to play more competitive golf.
I do.
He
too.
really does. He really does.
12 rounds of competitive golf, and you're going to play in 4 majors? That's not going to do it. Cut it for me.
No, at the Masters, he can do it because he knows that place like the back of his hand. That's his course. He's got that down to a science. That's not an issue. But these other ones, yeah, you've got to get out there and you've got to play. You got to keep your game, But once again, we don't know exactly what's going on. He's a very, as we know, keeps things kind of close until, a woman throws a golf club through his windshield, But, that wasn't his choice, of course, but he made his own problems there. But technically
it was his choice.
Well, yeah, he made some bad choices, but it wasn't his choice for it to go, obviously all over the world. But it all comes down to his, and we don't know what his health is like. And he's not telling us, you're never going to know. And I thought he was kind of fired up. You remember did you see the videos where he was up at 1 a.m. training to get used to the time change? And then I thought, okay, yeah, he's feeling pretty good. But then I seen that press conference, and I'm like, you're not feeling good. So I don't know. Some people have said, here, listen, what do you think about this? Don't play at all. Only play the Masters for the rest of your career.
Why not?
That's why I thought. I'm like, you don't need the money, and you only need 3 more to tie Jack, right? So it's like, well. So I don't know, but I do think he needs to play more competitive.
I do too. I think he needs to play more, and if his body can't handle it, just walk away.
And I agree with you on that. If the body can't handle it, you've got kids to still raise, and your own health. If that's the issue, then shut it down.
Do I want to see that? No, because I love watching Tiger play competitively and play well at a tournament. It's one of the for the last 20 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
One of the greatest joys that I remember him and playing at the Masters his first round when he was 15, 20 shots up.
Oh, right.
That's one of my greatest joys of I remember that. That's something I always remember, how great of a golfer he is.
Right.
It's really sad to see him take the turn he's taken, though.
Mm-hmm. But let's not forget, not long ago, boy, we were excited because he just won a tournament. That wasn't that long ago. Now, granted, things can happen, but yeah. So it wasn't that long ago that he was on top of the mountain. That's just golf. Sometimes you play well, sometimes you play like crap. And boy, did he play like crap.
When's the last time you played well?
I've never played well.
Okay. Making sure I wasn't the only one.
Right. So, yeah.
So moving on, though, Tiger did not play well, didn't make the cut. But did you see Shane Lowry and what he has done, the Irishman?
Oh, boy.
He has partied like a rock star since
why wouldn't you? He's a national hero right now.
I tell you what, so, I think it's awesome.
Good for him. Yeah, good for him. I'd live it up.
For golf.
It is. But here's the thing with golf, too. Kind of like Stone Cold that we mentioned before, right? Name another golfer since Tiger Woods has started that puts the asses in the seats, that gets people excited, that gets that draw like Stone Cold does. Name another golfer that has been as dominant as Tiger Woods, that has stayed on top. It's one thing to win a tournament, but to do like he did for so long, golf doesn't have that.
He's a generational athlete, especially for golf.
Mm-hmm.
We probably won't see another one of him. I mean, the guy who's been the most consistent, I'd say, over the last 3 years is probably Brooks Koepka.
Right.
And even he's not right there with everything either.
No.
Koepka's an animal. I love Koepka.
Yes, he is.
He's probably my favorite golfer right now, just as because what he does is consistent.
Mm-hmm.
What
has the personality of my pillowcase, though.
Right.
That's the problem.
That's exactly the problem. Mm-hmm. Golf needs a Happy Gilmore. As much as golf doesn't want a Happy Gilmore, doesn't want to. They're losing interest and they're losing fans because they don't have a Happy Gilmore.
Hey, there's just no excitement to it. Now, your true golf fans, as we have some on listen to this podcast, they'll watch golf regardless because they like golf. I have no issue with that. But the fans like us, we need that excitement. And that's why we still like Tiger Woods because
I'll still watch. I enjoy watching golf.
Mm-hmm.
Just on Sunday afternoons from noon to 3 because it's my nap time now.
Right. Right. But yeah, they got to have that rock star again. And just like with wrestling, it's tough to find that person in every sport. It's very tough. It comes around only very soft, and that's why you need to appreciate it while it's there because it's going to be a while before it comes back around.
Agreed. So moving on, Sammy, Tiger not good. Maybe he'll take a nice vacation and get things right in his head or whatever he needs to get right.
Right.
NFL is going to start soon.
Yes.
A lot of free agent signings.
Yes.
A lot of free agent busts going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to call it right now on this show. Right here on the Baker's Dozen episode of Behind the Mic Show.
Lucky number 13. That's right.
Lucky number 13. The biggest NFL bust this year is going to be Le'Veon Bell and the New York Jets.
Oh, and he's been away from the game for a while, too.
Le'Veon Bell will not rush for over 1,000 yards this year.
Ooh, okay.
Le'Veon Bell may not even finish the season as a Jet.
Oh, wow. Wow. You think it might have some problems in the locker room as well?
I think you're going to see a lot of problems with coaches. I think you're going to see a lot of problems with management. I think you're going to see a lot of problems with teammates. Mm-hmm. I just don't think old Le'Veon, who signed a 4-year, $52.5 million contract,
right,
$7 million of that guaranteed,
mm-hmm.
makes it past year one.
Ooh, well, that is a bold. You're coming out hot. You're coming out hot on this. I am.
Here's my thing. There's a lot of. You look at some of the money that was thrown around in NFL free agency this year. Stupid.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's. I don't even like to use that word "stupid" because I just don't like to put people down like that.
Well, you see that in all sports. They're throwing money at people. It's like, for what? But they're throwing it. But your Le'Veon Bell, I could see that happen just because it's the Jets, and the Jets can't get anything right. So I could see that turning into a dumpster fire. I do think he's got a good young quarterback as well, and he gets a lot of touches. What's that?
Simeon? Isn't Simeon there?
No, it's the redheaded kid that looks like.
Oh, that's right, out of USC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold. So, I think he's going to be okay, and I think giving him a weapon like Le'Veon Bell will help. But, boy, I tell you what, here's the thing with Le'Veon Bell. You got the attitude issues that he had. He's been out for a year, sat out on his teammates, over a contract dispute. And now you're putting him in the New York media, a little different than the Pittsburgh media. That New York media's got hot lights. And somebody with an attitude like that, it's like, boy, if things aren't going well, like you said, it's going to be an issue real quick. So let's say you start out 0-2, 0-3. Ooh, boy, that's going to be interesting. I can understand that. I don't know that I have any busts, let's say, in terms of NFL, but just some interesting NFL free agents that moved around this year. Of course, was Brown, once again, from Pittsburgh, going to the Raiders.
I think he will flourish in Oakland.
I think
Vegas,
you know what?
San Diego, wherever the Raiders are at these days.
I flip a coin. Yeah, I was going to say, Vegas, Oakland, who knows? But yes, it all depends on if the quarterback stays healthy.
Derek Carr, yes.
If Carr can stay healthy, and of course if Gruden can let them do what they do, and Gruden gets kind of up to date. I still don't understand that coaching hire. I really don't. I mean, it may pan out, but boy, you talk about throwing money around. Woo! Didn't they give him like $100 million for 10 years? We'll see how that goes. But I do think if they let Brown be Brown and they get him the ball, I think he could have a huge year.
I'd like to see what Brown can do for you.
Good. Yes, very nice. Maybe get a different sponsor. Maybe get another sponsor. That's a big time sponsor right there. But yes, I think that's going to be interesting. I also think you're probably going to call me crazy, but with the Jaguars, you know what quarterback they got?
Nick Foles.
Don't
tell me you think he's going to be. Don't tell me you think he's going to be superb.
You know what? Here's what the thing is. He doesn't have to be superb. You know what he needs to do? Not turn the ball over like Bortles did, and they'll be just fine. They have a good defense, a really good defense, and all he has to do is manage the game like he does. And then if they get the playoffs, as you've seen multiple times with Nick Foles, yeah, he's a Super Bowl champion. Okay, played exceptionally well, so he has that experience. Right or wrong. So I think he's a good, solid quarterback. And I think if he can stay healthy, manage the game, not turn the ball over, I think the Jaguars are going to rebound from a bad year. And then one of my favorites.
I really am glad you think that, because I'm going to tell you why I don't think that.
Okay.
He's my second bust.
Ooh, okay.
He signed a 4-year, $88 million contract.
Gotta love that quarterback money.
Guaranteed him $45 million.
Yes, sir. Yep.
How many? Yes, he's been playoffs. Great.
Right.
Since when did a small sample size earn you that much money?
Oh, it does it all the time. Is it right? No, but it happens all the time. And the Jaguars desperately needed a quarterback. Desperately.
Yes, they did.
And now, is this a home run hire in terms of quarterback? No, but I think the Jaguars are smart to realize we don't need a superstar quarterback. We just need somebody that can give it to our guys rather than the other guys. And
he won't be there by the time the contract expires in 4 years.
Oh, no, I don't see that happening. No, absolutely not. I can't see him filling that out. And then
Why give him $45 million guaranteed if you think that?
That's just
a bad business move.
Well, of course it is. They do bad business moves all the time. They give these people guaranteed money. And in the NFL, we know that's really not a good idea because one missed block and his knee's blown out and he never plays again. And guess what? I still get $45 million.
Right.
So, yeah. So, but I don't know why they do it.
To the NFL.
Oh, man. I think it's because with us, it's like lack of ability, size, no speed. That's why we didn't make it. But
yeah, you hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah, commitment, hard work. But one of my favorite players that I've really enjoyed watching over the years is on a different team as well. Earl Thomas, former safety for the Seahawks, is now with the Ravens. The Ravens are going to be really good defensively, like they always are. Of course, their quarterback's he's got to learn to throw a little bit better. Of course, boy, he can run. But I really
Lamar
like that
Jackson's pretty. I like Lamar Jackson.
Oh yeah, he just got to get better at throwing, which I think he will. Get him the right coaching.
He's one of my. I listed looked at some notes, looked at some free agents, and he's one of my contracts that are right between a bust and a great sign because. Yes, he got 4 years, $55 million. That's only a little over what, $12 million a year. Not quite 13, I guess. I mean, I can't do the math. Maybe $13 million a year. $32 million guaranteed.
Right.
So technically, if you take the $32 million guaranteed out of that, so you're signing him 4 years, $23 million.
Yes.
That's just over $5 million a year.
Right. That's a good signing.
That's a great signing. Earl Thomas is going to be huge for that defense.
Oh, yeah, and he is – you talk about a stud.
Think about safeties in Baltimore. Name a safety from Baltimore in the last 15 years. Who?
Oh, the only reason I know is because he was a Gator, Matt Elam, and it didn't turn out well. So, they've needed that. Earl Thomas is going to –
How about Ed Reed?
Oh, God, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, good call. Yes, and boy, what a stud he was.
And Earl Thomas is the same way. He came from the Legion of Boom in Seattle.
Yep.
Now he's going to be in Baltimore. That defense is going to be very, very solid, which is what Lamar Jackson needs to be successful. So on my book, I think it's a great signing by Baltimore.
You know who else was – and by the way, the biggest free agent, I think? OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr. going to the Browns.
But he wasn't a free agent. He was traded.
Traded, but still, that's okay. We can mix it up a little bit. Traded, yes, but might as well have been a free agent because they definitely wanted rid of him.
Right.
Which let's build more around Eli Manning for some reason. But to try to change it up a little bit, you give Baker Mayfield weapons like Odell Beckham Jr., Kareem Hunt came over from the Chiefs.
How often? When will he play?
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit because of his off the field issues. Jarvis Landry, I tell you what, I am going to be watching a lot of Browns football because I love me some Baker.
Well, you know how I like a good Brown.
Yeah, that's right. So, yes, not a free agent signing, but I think that's the biggest move of the offseason, in my opinion.
I disagree. I'm going to tell you who my biggest free agent signing is, and you're going to think I'm nuts when I say this.
Well, yeah.
This guy signed for 1 year.
Okay.
$2.9 million, so cheap.
If you say the Chicago Bears kicker, I'm going to punch you in the face.
No, it's not actually.
Okay.
I'm with the New England Patriots.
Okay.
And that's Demaryius Thomas.
Oh, yeah.
I think he could have a renaissance of his career.
Oh, playing with Tom Brady? Yes.
Playing with Tom Brady.
Yeah.
On the cheap.
That's all they gave him?
$2.9 million on a 1 year contract.
Insane. Wow. But if he really blows it out and has a huge year like Tom Brady can do for wide receivers, as we know, in that system, look at Randy Moss. How many touchdown catches did he have that 1 year? Now, rated
25, 26.
At least. Yeah, now granted, Randy Moss is, once again, a generational talent.
But if Thomas is the same height and same build.
And he was great early on, but now, Denver hasn't had a good quarterback for a while.
That's just it. I'm saying you're bringing Demaryius Thomas into a winning system with –
Yes.
I think Brady was on both of our Mount Rushmores. Is that correct?
I think so. Yeah, we'd have to look back on that, but I think that's
But okay, so you're bringing a guy for $2.9 million.
Yep.
Who's a tall great wide receiver with good hands into that system. That could be
a smart move by that kid. That is
Yeah.
a business decision, because if he has an exceptional year next Tom Brady, then he can go out and sign about a 4 or 5 year deal with a lot
Bingo.
more money. If he can stay healthy. It's a risk, but it could work out huge.
Other free agent signing I like this year, Randall Cobb, former Packers
All right.
wide receiver,
Mhm.
signed a 1-year, $5 million deal with the Cowboys.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah. Old Dak,
so
yeah.
With Dak and those guys and Ezekiel,
Yeah.
Jones, I'm not a Cowboy fan. Don't
Right.
we bear down here at the Cheap Seat Sports Bar and Grill. But
that could be a fun team to watch though as well. Yeah.
I tell you
They
what, I'm
also
excited
have Amari
for.
Cooper.
I'm excited for football, Sammy. I will tell you that much.
Yes.
So
Definitely.
hey, we're gonna finish there. You got anything else to add to the NFL?
I don't. And it's been a while since we talked about the NFL, so it's nice to kind of go in depth there a little bit. It's getting close.
It is. We're getting close. So we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back, and apparently I'm gonna have to pick out some song lyrics. Is that right?
That's right. We're going to see just how musically talented you are. So,
well, fantastic. Well, I look forward to that. So we'll be right back after this quick break and hear from our sponsor, Bees Trees and Ford of Tuscola. It's both great sponsors. If you're looking for a new or pre-owned car, go see Doug down there. Doug Bonzak. That's right. He's the finance guy. Great guy. We like to call him Chet, but he'll take care of it.
Chet.
And if you're needing your trees trimmed or some yard work done, give Greg Miller a call at Bees Trees. Great. He did all my trees. He takes care of us. He's one of our great sponsors. We couldn't be more happy with Greg, and we appreciate him sponsoring the show every week and letting us do this. So take a quick break. We'll be right back here on the Behind the Mic Show from the Cheap Seats Sports Bar and Grill.
Check out the all-new Ford of Tuscola. It's a small-town feel with great big deals. Pre-owned vehicles starting at $24.95. Online at FordofTuscola.com or call 217-253-3353.
One tree or a dozen, large estate or small corner lot, whatever you call home. When you have trees that need professional care, that means calling Bees Trees. Greg Miller, owner and operator of Bees Trees, is an ISA certified arborist. Bees Trees offers tree removal, trimming, and free estimates. They're fully licensed and fully insured. Call Bees Trees today to find out how they can keep your trees healthy and thriving. Call 217-260-4551 to schedule an appointment with Bees Trees.
Welcome back to the Behind the Mic Show right here from the Cheap Seat Sports Bar and Grill. I am your host, Keith Gibson, alongside me, my co-host and one of my good friends, Sam Erwin, is with me. And Sammy, we talked NCAA football today. We talked wrestling. We talked Tiger, how he's done. And we've talked NFL football. Now, apparently, you want to give me some lyrics that I have to tell you what the song is? Is that right? Or what are you doing today?
That's correct. Yes, I'm going to give you a line or two from some songs.
Do I get a beat?
No beat. No, I don't have musical
talent. Are you
going to
sing it?
We talked about this. I don't think any of our listeners would really care for that. I don't know if I ever told you before or not. You know, I'm a huge Garth Brooks fan. A lot of people know that. You definitely know that. One time, and I know every song word for word. I'm just a mega fan. Some might call it a sickness. I don't care. But I was driving down the road one night. There's this song that I really like, and I always sing along to it. Of course, we always sound fantastic, to ourselves when we're singing along the radio.
I have a great
you know
voice.
What? You actually are a pretty good singer, yes, especially Humpty Dance. But and the entertainment value alone is fantastic. Right. But so I turned the radio down, or turned the volume down, and I decided to record myself singing. And then I listened to the playback of me singing, and I was like, and now we push delete. So there's no evidence.
Well, that's all right. That's all right.
Yeah. But no, you are, into music. You've always been into music, entertaining, sing a little bit. You like to entertain on stage. You know a lot about music.
What, Sammy, I don't know if people know this. I've won $1,000 twice singing karaoke.
Insane. The amount of talent.
I'm not a singer.
Right.
I am an entertainer.
Exactly. And that takes, a lot
show.
of times. Yeah, exactly. And that can take care of if you can't sing that well, but you're a pretty decent singer too.
Well,
so we're, we like to mix things up on this show every now and then. It's not always about sports. Sometimes we like to do some fun things. So if you're ready, we'll do 5 of them and we'll see, if you score well on this.
Hold on. I have a couple questions before we begin.
Yes.
Do I at least get a genre of where this comes from?
Nope.
Do I get anything besides? Do I get some Vaseline?
That's after the show.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay. All right. You ready?
I am
Now,
ready.
I'm gonna start you off. Well, I'm not gonna start you off too easy. All right.
Okay.
So you ready?
I'm
Okay,
ready.
Number 1. The phone rings in the middle of the night. My father yells, "What you gonna do with your life?" And I'm not singing because nobody's gonna like that. So the phone rings
Okay.
in the middle of the night. And this is
Phone
in the
rings.
80s. I'll help you. It's in the 80s.
Phone rings in the middle of the night.
Uh-huh. My father yells, "What you gonna do with your life?"
What you gonna do with your life? Is that 18 on Life, Skid Row?
Oh, it is not. What if I give you another line?
Okay.
Let's see. The phone rings. Oh, how about, "Oh, Daddy dear, you know you're still number one"?
Yeah, no clue.
Oh, "Girls Just Want to Have Fun" by Cyndi Lauper.
Well, you know that what's funny about that? You might hear that on the bus Saturday.
Oh, I'm sure. Yes. So 0 for 1, much like your batting stats in high school baseball. Over.
Yeah.
So number 2.
Well, it wasn't just high school baseball. Live dating.
That time that you tried to kill the pitcher in slow pitch softball and Xenia whenever you rocketed.
No, that broke her leg.
Yeah. I'm not sure she's ever walked right since. All right, number 2. Are you ready? Try to redeem yourself.
Okay.
This one you should know. All right.
Okay.
This is probably 90s, I'd say. Okay.
At least you give me a
Right in your
decade.
wheelhouse. All right, you ready? I'm a lyrical gangster, murderer. Excuse me, Mr. Officer, murderer.
That would be Shaggy, Mr. Boombastic.
Oh, no.
Right?
No.
Go on. I'm a lyrical gangster. Murderer.
Murderer. Excuse me, Mr. Officer.
Murderer.
Hold
Hold on here.
Sock hops after the football games.
I know.
I mean, it's played all the time.
Lyrical gangster. Murderer. They call me Mr. Boombastic. Totally fantastic. No.
No, it's not. The correct answer is "Here Comes the Hot Stepper." Here comes the hot stepper.
Right. Here comes the hot stepper. Turn around.
They're around.
Gangster. Turn around. Yes.
Yep.
Oh, that's a good one.
It is.
That was on the. So I'm a little younger than you. I remember that song though on a CD that I bought. It was MTV Party to Go Volume 7, I believe.
And now they're up into what, the 40s or 50s?
I have no clue.
All right, so 0 for 2. 0 for 2. Here we go. Number 3, and I hope our people are playing along at home. I wonder, those that are listening, I wonder if they're guessing and doing any better than you are. They probably are. I figure dead people do better than you are right now.
Well,
so number 3.
Can't do
number
much
3. All right, you ready?
Ready.
Number 3. Well, I'm standing next to a mountain. Chop it down with the edge of my hand. You should know this, I would think. NWO, Hulk Hogan, what he walked out to. Well,
Yes, that would be Jimi Hendrix.
Yes.
Voodoo Child.
Yes, he wins. Yes, he's got one. All right. Hey, you know what? You're batting 300 right now.
That's right.
So you got one there. Good job. Yep, Voodoo Child. Very good. Love that song. Remember when Lane Pie walked out? I believe that
hold on. Time out. Speaking of Lane, Brian Lane, I know you listen to this show, and I know Mary Ann does too, your wife. And by the way, do you know where Brian Lane has moved to?
Hot Atlanta.
No, not quite.
Oh, well.
Brian Lane is now a resident of Cobb County, Georgia.
Of course he is, where the big boss man's from.
Bingo.
How life has come full circle. That's great. If he doesn't dress up like that for Halloween, then I don't even know who Brian Lane is.
That's
anymore.
exactly right. Brian Lane, if you're listening, we better see Big Boss Man as your Halloween costume.
Doubt. Yes.
But
all right, so
on the move. Anyway,
what's that? Yeah, good for him. Got to move up and got him a job that he likes, so good for him. All right, you ready for number 4?
Yes.
Okay. 90s. Once again, you know what our area is.
Yes.
This one, I will tell you, this one is like, I don't know what you'd call it, heavy metal, death metal, different kind of stuff.
Okay.
All right, so Well, sweet little sisters, high as hell, cheating on a halo, grinding an odyssey, a holocaust, a heart, kicking on tomorrow. Yeah.
Is that Pantera?
No.
No. Am I close?
You know what? You're in the general vicinity. I mean, wrong band, but at least you're, yeah. So, well, sweet little sisters, high as hell, cheating on Halo, grinding an odyssey, a holocaust, a heart, kicking on tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, I really have no clue.
Oh, Thunder Kiss 65 by White Zombie. One of my favorite bands of the 90s. We listened to it in football. You maybe were too young. But...
No, I still listen. I actually have it in the truck right now.
Okay. So you should have known that then.
Well, I probably should have, but
yeah.
Here's the thing. When you hear a lyric and just it's said, it's different than when you hear it sung.
Absolutely. If it were played, if we had a better budget, we could actually probably play some of these, just those one-liner things. It'd be kind of cool. We don't really have that kind of budget, I don't guess. So,
Not yet.
Not yet. We'll get there.
If we had some more great sponsors like These Trees, we would be able to get there.
That's, a good point. Good point. All right. You ready for the fifth one? If you don't get this one, I'm going to tell you right now.
I'm 250 right now.
You are. Not great, but still in the league.
Above the Mendoza line.
That's right. So here we go. If you don't get this one, we're done. We're done. I'm not speaking to you anymore.
Yes, you will.
I won't. No, because it'll just be disgraceful. And you should hang your head in shame. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Blame it all on my roots. I showed up in
boots.
It ruined your black tie affair.
That would be Garth.
Yes.
What's the name of that song? Friends in Low Places.
All right. Yes. Good job. So you ended up 2 for 5. Not bad.
Hey, you know what? That's a 400 average.
Man, that is – God, you're Ted Williams. Who knew? So, yeah.
I'm Ted Williams. I'm frozen somewhere.
Yeah. Hey, any off the top of your head you want to throw at the great one? See if I can guess.
Got any on top of your head? You know what? I just don't know if oh, yeah, here we go.
Okay,
I'll throw this one at you and just see if there's even a point to this. If you want to go and take a ride with me with 3 women in the back and the gold ZE.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're stopping there. Okay.
Stop there.
Yeah, I got you. That's Nelly.
Okay, good call.
Uh-huh. And
all right. I can throw another one at you. I can do this.
I can't think of the name of the song though. I know it's him. What's the name of the song called?
Oh, I gave you the name of the song and the lyrics, you dumbass.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. If you want to go and take a ride with me.
Ride with me? It's just ride with me. Okay, gotcha. Okay, yeah.
Gee, man, Christmas.
Well, whatever. I got the freaking, yeah.
Okay. Stop what you're doing because I'm about to ruin
No. I'm going to stop you right there because I think it'd be great for the show. You know what? Sing it like you sing it. Just give us a little bit, and then that's how we should end the show. Just give us a little bit.
All right, I'll give you a little bit. Stop what you're doing because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to.
So great, so perfect, and I love the beat of that song.
I do too, without a doubt.
So great.
You might hear that Saturday, just might.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
why not?
Anyway, we got DJ KK Mole is making a reappearance of the Drink and Dive tour.
Not the same without the shaved head and the bleached eyebrows, the red headband.
If you want to stay married, I don't think I'll be bald or blonde. All right, Sammy. Well, I guess I will see you either tomorrow evening or Saturday morning. Looking forward to that. We'll have the.
When's this bad boy dropping?
We're going to drop this out tomorrow morning. I'm going to work on that.
Right.
Get it out. So we'll drop it. Maybe even tomorrow evening. We'll drop it to Friday evening and let our listeners get it before on the drive home.
Mm-hmm.
Do that. So if you're listening, hey, we always appreciate the feedback. Make sure you visit cheapseatsbar.com Facebook page. Make sure you visit the website. Give us tons of feedback. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Give us. We love to hear. If you have a show idea, if you have something you want us to do, hey, we're wide open. We have nothing.
Absolutely. Yes.
We're wide open to everything. So give us a.
Hey, we wing it. We wing it every week and come up with ideas and just go with it. So if somebody's got an idea they want us to do, drop it and let us know.
Right. Exactly. By the way, just got a Facebook message of somebody wanting to know how can they become an advertiser on our podcast, and that is a true statement right now.
Ooh, boy, they just keep rolling in now.
Hey, people are starting to listen. We appreciate it. We do appreciate every single one of you that are listening. So for my co-host, Sam Erwin, I am Keith Gibson. This has been the Behind the Mic Show from the Cheap Seats Sports Bar and Grill.
Bees Trees, your local ISA certified arborist with over 10 years experience, specializing in tree removal, tree trimming, and with free estimates. Call Greg Miller of Bees Trees today at 217-260-4551.